Namaskar, my dear students. Today in the dental materials section, we will be discussing dental casting alloys. I have already discussed the important terms and all the classification systems of dental casting alloys in the previous video. In this video, we will be discussing the gold casting alloys. This is an important topic as it is often asked in the theory exam as a long note or a short note. It is also kept in this as the spotter in the practical exam, and many MCQs are also framed from this topic. So let's begin. Gold. Gold is an old English word which comes from giolo. It means yellow. Its symbol is AU. If we talk about the pure gold, it is soft and ductile metal with a yellow gold hue. The common properties are it has a density of 19.3 grams per centimeter cube. It has a melting point of 1063 degrees Celsius and it has a boiling point of 2970 degrees Celsius. The coefficient of thermal expansion is around 14.2 into 10 raised to the power minus 6 per degree Celsius. Gold has good luster, it takes up high polish, it has good chemical stability, and it does not tarnish and corrode. Now next are the gold casting alloys. ADS specification number 5, it classifies the dental gold casting alloys into 3 types depending on the gold content. First are the high gold alloys. They contain 70% by weight or more of the gold, palladium and platinum. Okay, these can further be classified into 4 types depending on the mechanical properties. They can be type 1 soft, type 2 medium, type 3 hard and type 4 extra hard. Now their mechanical properties just decide their use. Type 1 and type 2 they are called as the inlay gold alloys and type 3 and type 4 are called as the crown and bridge alloys. Second are the low gold alloys and third are the white gold alloys. Now let us discuss them one by one. In the high gold alloys, the first are the type 1 soft gold alloys. These alloys are weak, soft and highly ductile. They are useful only in the areas of low occlusal stresses such as small inlays. So they can be designed for simple inlays such as used in class 1, 3 and 5 cavities. They can be burnished easily. So they can be used in conjunction with a direct wax pattern technique. At present, they are used very less. Now coming to the uh, properties of the type 1 gold alloys. First is hardness, it is low. Tensile strength is quite low, which is 276 megapascals. Yield strength is also low, 180 megapascals. The linear casting shrinkage is around 1.56%. Elongation or ductility is around 18%. These values I have taken from NUCIVICE. Talking about its composition, the gold content is around 83%, silver 10%, copper 6%, platinum palladium 0.5%, and traces of zinc and gallium. Now next are the type 2 gold alloys, which are the medium gold alloys. They can be subjected to moderate stresses, so they can be used for making 3/4 crowns, pontics and the full crowns. They are also used for the conventional inlay only restorations. They are harder and have good strength as compared to the type 1. Ductility is almost the same as that of the type 1 alloy. They are less yellow in color due to the less gold content. Now, if we talk about the properties, its hardness is around 90 to 120, which is more as compared to the type 1. It was 50 to 90 in that case. Tensile strength is 345 megapascals, which was 276 for type 1. Yield strength is 300, which is almost the double of the type 1. Linear casting shrinkage has decreased as 1.37%, which was 1.5% in case of the type 1. Elongation is decreased, that is 10%, which was 18% in case of the type 1. Now talking about the composition, the gold content is decreased, it is 77%, silver is 14%, copper is 7%, palladium is 1% and zinc and gallium maintaining the balance. Moving further to type 3 cooled alloys, which are the hard cooled alloys, they can be subjected to high stresses and are used for making the crown and bridges. Now, this type of gold alloy can be age hardened. The type 3 alloy, the burnishing is less important as compared to the strength. Okay, now coming to the properties, the hardness is 120 to 150, which is increased, which was 90 to 120 in case of the type 2. Tensile strength is 360, which is also increased. Yield strength is 331 megapascals, increased from the type 2. The linear casting shrinkage is 1.42%. Elongation or ductility has decreased to 5%, which was 10% in case of the type 2. Okay, talking about its composition, the gold content is further decreased. It is 75%, silver is 11%, copper is 9%, palladium is the 3.5%, which has increased, and zinc and gallium maintaining the balance. Now moving further, type 4 gold alloys, which are the extra hard alloys, they are mainly used in the areas of very high stresses, that is the long span bridges. It has the lowest gold content of all the 4 types, which is less than 70%, but it has the highest content of the silver, copper, platinum and the palladium. Now it is more responsive to the heat treatment and yield strength, but it has lower ductility. Coming to the properties, hardness is 150 to 200, tensile strength is 462 megapascals, which has increased from the type 3, which was 360 megapascals. Yield strength is 703 megapascals, which is almost more than double of the type 3. Linear casting shrinkage is 2.30%, and the elongation or ductility has decreased to 3%, which was 5% in case of the type 3. Coming to the composition, the gold content has decreased to less than 70%, which is 56%. Silver is 25%, copper is 14%, palladium is 4%, and zinc and gallium. Now let us just quickly compare all the 4 types, because these properties are often asked in the Viva and they come as multiple choice questions also. So the 4 types, type 1, 2, 3, 4, the properties is hardness, proportional limit, strength, ductility and the corrosion resistance. As we go from the type 1 to type 4, the first 3 properties, that is hardness, proportional limit and strength, they increase as we go from type 1 to type 4. So type 4 has the maximum hardness, proportional limit and strength. Type 1 has the least. Now if we talk about the properties like ductility, which decreases as we go from the type 1 to type 4. Type 1 has the maximum ductility and type 4 has the least. Corrosion resistance, as the gold content is decreasing from type 1 to type 4, so the corrosion resistance also decreases from type 1 to type 4. Type 1 has the maximum corrosion resistance while the type 4 has the least corrosion resistance. Now next we come to the heat treatment of gold alloys. A very important topic. It comes as a short note in the theory exam, a separate short note, and it is often asked in the Viva. Many MCQs are framed from this topic and students often get confused. So let us understand first why this heat treatment is done. It is done to alter the mechanical properties of the alloy. Okay, now what is the requirement? The gold alloys can only be heat treated if it contains sufficient amount of copper. And because of this copper content, only type 3 and type 4 gold alloys can be heat treated. Okay, now depending on what type of mechanical properties we finally want to get, there can be 2 types of heat treatment. First is the softening heat treatment, which is called as the solution heat treatment, and second is the hardening heat treatment or the age hardening. Let us discuss them. Softening heat treatment. From the word itself, softening, that means we are softening the alloy. So the softening heat treatment, it increases the ductility and it reduces the tensile strength, proportional limit and the hardness of the alloy. Now, what are the indications where we will do the softening heat treatment? It is mainly indicated for the appliances that are to be grounded, shaped, or cold worked in or outside the mouth. Okay, there we need to do the softening heat treatment. How we will do? What is the method? The casting is placed in an electric furnace for 10 minutes at a temperature of 700 degrees Celsius. And then it is followed by quenching in water. You know what happens during this process? The mechanism is that during this method, all the intermediate phases are presumably changed to a disordered solid solution. And the rapid quenching that we are doing, it prevents the ordering from occurring during the cooling. So we result in a softened alloy. Each alloy has its optimum temperature for the softening heat treatment. Now next is the hardening treatment, which is the just opposite of the softening heat treatment. Now from the term hardening, it will harden. That means the hardening heat treatment will increase the strength, proportional limit and the hardness. It will decrease the ductility. You know, it is the copper content which is present in the gold alloys which help in the age hardening process. Now, where we will do the hardening heat treatment, it is mainly indicated for the metallic partial dentures, crowns and the bridges. It is not employed for the smaller structures such as the inlays. How we do the hardening heat treatment? The method is that it is done by soaking or aging the casting at a specific temperature for a definite time, which is usually 15 to 30 minutes. Then it is followed by the quenching in water. This aging temperature, it depends on the alloy composition, which normally ranges between 200 to 450 degrees Celsius. And during this period, what happens? The intermediate phases, they are changed to an ordered solid solution. Then only it results in a hardened alloy. There is one more very important point to be noted for the hardening heat treatment, that ideally before the age hardening of the alloy, it should be subjected to the softening heat treatment. This will relieve all the strain hardening. And to start with the age hardening treatment, the alloy is in a disordered solid solution. This allows better control of the hardening process. So we are done with the gold alloys. I'm sure no more doubts now. Do not forget to share and like the video. You can give your topics in the comment section. Wish you success today and always.